I say to myself, why are you making a video, on this? Why are you giving the people an update on this, scenario right here with Vibes Cartel telling someone to go, actually basically to go suck their mama. Um, Because first and foremost, to be, it was kind of funny. Um, Secondly, it was just the audacity of the person, right, to leave that comment on Vibes Cartel Instagram page, basically telling Vibes Cartel what to do, you know. And I understand that, yes, it's like I'm in agreement with people saying, well, Vice Cartel, he could address this, differently. Like he could have been more, respectful, for lack of better words, right? Professional. But he just chose to go the ordinary road, right? As to when someone, like I said, the audacity, you know, to say or do, it's like, okay, you just get a cool, SYM. And I know, even though I know that word or that term is very disrespectful when it comes to the Jamaican culture, maybe this is why the artists they use it, especially a Vibes Cartel, because that is Vibes Cartel. But you know, basically, what's going on? Everything this Jamaica just experienced, Hurricane Melissa, and there's a lot of focus or a lot of attention on the island, Jamaica, right? And a lot of people are being internationally, locally, right? They just been pitching in right now to help people that experience this this hurricane. But the person they left a comment on Vibes Cartel page and said basically this is why Vibes Cartel had to tell the person what he said or tell them, what I mean? So the person, as you guys can see, said, you need to go to St. Elizabeth where the catastrophe happened, not where palm trees and beach is at, right? And as you guys can see, Vibes Cartel responds, you know what I mean? Like I said, he just tell the person, well, he's not going to take program and go suck him out, like, well, go suck him out, So, okay, right? And like I said, even though I think Vibes Cartel could approach the situation differently, right, or address the situation differently to say, well, and because we have Vibes Cartel donated a whole heap of money. Now, maybe it's because of the post that Vibes Cartel made on his Instagram, right? Now I don't know if that post was on his story or was if it's on his page. I would have to, go check, go look, and maybe do a different video on that. But from what I'm getting right now, this was Vibes Cartel's story, and people could comment on your stories. So Vibes Cartel respond now. How the person got that or how this happened really, to me, I'm like, okay, I'm taking this with a grain of salt, right? So all of this is basically alleged. So if Vibes Cartel tell this person what he said because they left a comment on his page telling him what to do, right, or where to go, you know, you know, it's like the audacity, like and even though they might not know what Vibes Cartel is doing behind the scene, because I see people that saying Vibes Cartel, he donated so much of money, to the, the hurricane relief program that's happening in Jamaica right now. And he donated more than, all of the artists that donated so far. I don't want to make it seem like it's a competition thing, like to say, well, who did this or who whatever the most, right? I'm just looking at it like, look, whoever is doing, at least they doing something, You know what I mean? At least they contributing, because there's a lot of people that's not contributing. You know, or a lot of nations or a lot of other countries that's not contributing. But can we blame those countries or those people, for not contributing right now? You see what I'm saying? So this is why I said it's a damn if you do, damn if you don't situation. Now the thing is, with Vybz Kartel, I think this is why a lot of people are talking about it, and this is why they're putting out these things, because it's Vybz Kartel. We got to keep it real, right? But the last time I checked, they said he was, donating to the cause. And matter of fact, they're saying Vybz Kartel right now might be the one that's donating the most so far, right? We've seen people come out on social media and saying, all of these things. So I'm just saying, right? But I'm not sure, but I'm just gonna drop this in there because I think this is the post that made the person left that comment on the Vybz Kartel or on the Vybz Kartel Instagram story, responding to when he posts this video right here. Check this out, people.
This is Vybz Kartel, and I'm in Jamaica.
So
where are you?
When he posted that video, I think that's why the person, left the comment. You know what I mean? I just think that's when when he made that post and left that video. I don't know if the person was responding after or while he made the post on his Instagram story, because I didn't see the post. I just seen somebody screenshot. You know what I mean? Somebody screenshot the comments where he responded. So within that span of they getting their screenshot, it has to be somebody. Or I don't know if it's the person that actually, left the comment, and then Vybz Kartel respond to them, and then they just screenshot it. You know what I mean? And put it out there. But it's crazy. But all I can say is, look, kudos to Vybz Kartel, whether he's, whether he made the video when he was in Miami before he, touched down in Jamaica, whether he was in Jamaica. To me, it's like, what's the big deal? At the end of the day, he donated, he's helping, he's one of the artists that's helping. What's the big deal? You know what I mean? And because you see an artist that's on the ground right now, because remember Vybz Kartel is busy, he's still touring. Some of these artists, just because of this, hurricane, a lot of shows, concerts, bookings probably was canceled. You know what I mean? Because it affect not just Jamaica, but, we're just talking about Jamaica right now. But, it's just one of them things, So if Vybz Kartel is helping out in whichever way he can, even though he might not be on the ground, why should that be something to point out and say, well, or you need to be in St. Elizabeth, or you need to be in wherever in Jamaica? I think it's the 13th or the 14th parish. But really, the audacity. You know what I mean? And even though it's not everywhere in Jamaica got hit, where it's like the whole island is really even though it is, right? But it's, you know what? I'm just going to leave that alone. But there's certain places that, people are still good. That's why they can still help, the places that got hit. I think the person was saying to Vybz Kartel, since he made that post, because I think when he made the post, he said, I'm in Jamaica, where are you, right? So, and like I said, this is the internet. So maybe this is why Vybz Kartel did what he did in the first place. I don't know. Because he know the response he might get. This is the internet. People are going to say, well, okay, since you in Jamaica, nigga, why the fuck you in over there with them people on the ground, like we're seeing other artists right now on the ground and do whatever. You up there where the palm, where it look like the palm trees and everything is all good and blah blah blah. You up there with them people telling us down here, you know what I mean? I'm in Jamaica. Where are you? Oh man, on Vybz Kartel hand, on his behalf too. It's like, you know, the audacity. You know what I mean? And for you to even, address this person who left a comment, whatever, people going to say, well, hey, you could have dealt with this, a little different. I understand, and the whole corporate mindset, whatever, at the same time. But it's like I agree with Vybz Cartel on the moral standpoint of it. Like, you can't tell me the last time I checked, all right? It's only my parents, my kids, my wife, right? And I would tell my boss in there if I'm working with somebody that I'm taking order, or I'm being given orders to follow, likewise, or who, you understand? You get what I'm saying, right? But other than that, the audacity, who you to tell me what to do? You know what I mean? And where to be, and where I should be. You know what I mean? Because of what? Why aren't you there? Since you know what I mean? And I get it. Like I said, I get it. But it's Vybz Cartel. And like I said, he made a post and people are saying, well, oh, since you're in Jamaica, why you not on the ground? You know what I mean? Like, why you know? But I don't think he have to be on the ground, especially if people are saying the money for a lot of these social media, YouTube bloggers are running with the money that Vybz Cartel donated to Jamaica, this Hurricane Melissa. They're basically saying he's the one that donated the most right now. So, I mean, you can't knock him for not being on the ground, because at the same time he's busy. He's still doing shows, selling out, and touring down arenas and all these things, or stadiums, right? So can't knock him for that. If he's donating financially and he's not there and like on the ground, some people might have an issue with that. But since he's on the ground, I think that's why the person that made a statement, because Vybz Cartel posted that video saying he's in Jamaica and where are you? But you guys tell me, y'all let me know what y'all think about this, you know what I mean? In the comment section. And yeah, just subscribe to the channel. Be vocal, but in the comment section. But yeah. I mean, big up on yourself, people. I'm out.